When a woman understands her value, it changes everything about how she interacts with the world. Confidence in its truest form isn't about arrogance or boasting. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and understanding your worth. A high-value woman doesn't need constant external validation because she has already validated herself. She doesn't seek approval from others, nor does she need to be constantly reassured of her abilities. The power she radiates comes from an internal belief that she is enough, just as she is, without needing to prove it to anyone. This internal confidence manifests in her body language, the way she carries herself, and the energy she brings into any room. People can feel it when someone walks in with an unshakable sense of self-assurance. It's the way she speaks without hesitation, without second-guessing her thoughts. It's the way she holds herself when she's alone, comfortable in her own space, and at peace with her own mind. This level of confidence naturally draws others in because, whether consciously or unconsciously, people are attracted to energy that exudes strength and certainty. A high-value woman doesn't place her self-worth in someone else's hands. She doesn't give away her power by constantly seeking approval or looking for signs that she is enough. She knows her value isn't determined by what others think of her or by their opinions of her choices. This sense of worth comes from a deep, unshakable belief in herself. When a woman can maintain this inner sense of confidence, it doesn't matter who she's speaking to, men, women, or even strangers. She commands respect because she is at peace with who she is. The confidence that high-value women possess isn't built overnight. It comes from years of learning to trust in their own abilities, acknowledging their strengths, and accepting their flaws. It's about growing comfortable with imperfections and understanding that nobody is perfect. In fact, the most confident women are often those who have learned to embrace their mistakes, their failures, and their imperfections because they understand that these are simply part of the human experience. They do not define them, and neither do others. A high-value woman can acknowledge her weaknesses without letting them diminish her sense of self-worth. She's not afraid to say, "I am still learning," and that's okay. Confidence also comes from knowing that there's more to her life than seeking validation from external sources. She isn't living for the approval of others, nor does she make decisions based on the desires of those around her. She's in control of her own life, her own choices, and her own path. She understands that the people around her are not there to complete her, but to complement her. Her worth is not dependent on being seen, being validated, or being admired. It exists within her, and it is unwavering. This kind of inner peace creates an unshakable sense of confidence. What's truly magnetic about this confidence is how it makes others feel. Men, in particular, are drawn to this energy because they can sense authenticity and genuineness. They are attracted to women who aren't trying to win their approval or bend over backward to meet their expectations. There's something powerful about a woman who knows her worth and doesn't feel the need to prove it. It's as though she's telling the world, "I don't need to do anything to be worthy of respect and admiration. I already am." This quiet strength is irresistible, not because it demands attention, but because it quietly commands it. In relationships, this level of confidence creates a sense of security. A high-value woman isn't constantly questioning her partner's intentions or looking for signs of affection to feel validated. She doesn't rely on external affection to validate her self-worth. Instead, she gives love freely, not from a place of need, but from a place of abundance. Her confidence makes her resilient to insecurities and doubts that can plague relationships. She knows her own worth, so she doesn't need to fear losing it in someone else's eyes. This emotional independence allows her to connect with others on a deeper, more authentic level because her confidence isn't fragile or dependent on anyone else's behavior. A woman who knows her value also knows when it's time to stand firm and say no when something doesn't align with her values or what she needs. Confidence allows her to establish boundaries because she recognizes that her time, energy, and emotions are precious. She doesn't feel the need to accept less than she deserves because she knows she is worthy of the best. She holds her standards high, and this unwavering belief in her own worth filters into all areas of her life, especially her relationships. Moreover, the confidence of a high-value woman empowers her to chase her dreams without hesitation. She pursues her passions, her career, and her personal goals because she knows that she is capable of achieving them. She doesn't wait for the perfect circumstances or for others to believe in her. She believes in herself, and that belief is what drives her. She understands that the journey will be full of challenges, but her confidence in her ability to overcome them ensures that she keeps moving forward no matter what. Confidence is not just about how she carries herself around others, it's about how she carries herself in every area of her life, in both the good times and the difficult moments. In essence, the confidence that a high-value woman has is a reflection of her inner strength. It's not about loud declarations or showing off, it's about quiet assurance. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need validation because it's already deeply embedded within. This inner certainty is what makes her magnetic, and is the key to establishing meaningful relationships and truly attracting the right kind of attention, the kind that respects her for who she truly is, not just for the image she projects to the world. Clear communication is one of the most powerful tools a high-value woman has in her arsenal. When a woman communicates with clarity, she does so with purpose and intention. Every word she speaks is meaningful, carefully chosen, and deliberate. She doesn't speak just to fill the silence, nor does she shy away from sharing her thoughts because she fears how they will be received. Instead, she uses communication as a means to build connection, understand others, and express herself authentically. To communicate with clarity, a high-value woman first understands the importance of self-awareness. She knows herself deeply, which allows her to express her thoughts, emotions, and needs in a way that aligns with her values and boundaries. This self-awareness provides a foundation for communication that is grounded in truth. She doesn't need to second-guess her words or wonder how she might be perceived. She speaks from a place of confidence, trusting that her truth is worth sharing. This is not to say she always has the perfect words or knows exactly how things will turn out. Rather, it means that she has developed a sense of comfort with her own voice, and she uses it unapologetically. When a high-value woman speaks, she speaks with purpose. She isn't vague or uncertain about what she wants to convey. Whether she is discussing her dreams, her boundaries, or her emotions, she does so in a way that leaves no room for confusion. She doesn't rely on mixed signals or hints. She has learned the value of being straightforward and direct, understanding that clear communication fosters mutual respect. This kind of communication allows for more meaningful conversations and less room for misunderstanding, misinterpretation, or unnecessary drama. Men, in particular, find this refreshing. It's the kind of communication that establishes trust, because when she speaks clearly, others know they can rely on her to express herself honestly. Clarity in communication also means being mindful of how and when something is said. A high-value woman is not reckless with her words. She understands that words carry weight, and that how something is expressed can have a significant impact on the outcome of the conversation. She takes time to consider the best approach, not out of fear, but out of respect for the person she is communicating with. Her goal is not to manipulate or control the conversation, but to communicate her perspective in a way that fosters understanding. She recognizes that timing is crucial, and sometimes silence or a pause in the conversation is the most powerful tool in her communication. One of the greatest benefits of clear communication is its ability to create connection. When a woman speaks clearly, she invites others to engage in meaningful dialogue. People feel heard, understood, and respected. A high-value woman listens actively and attentively when others speak, not just to respond, but to understand. She allows the conversation to flow naturally, creating a safe space for others to share their thoughts without fear of judgment. She knows that communication is not just about expressing her own thoughts, but also about being present for others, creating a balanced exchange where both sides feel valued. Clarity in communication also requires vulnerability. To speak clearly, a woman must be willing to express her emotions, her desires, and her needs. This vulnerability doesn't come from a place of weakness, but from a place of strength. It takes courage to express oneself authentically and to let others see the real, unfiltered version of who you are. A high-value woman is not afraid to share her true feelings, whether it's her excitement, her concerns, or her aspirations. She understands that vulnerability fosters deeper connections, and that by allowing others to see her true self, she invites them to do the same. Being clear also means being concise. A high-value woman doesn't need to ramble or over-explain herself. She knows that brevity is often more effective in conveying a message. She is not afraid to say what she means and to let the other person process the information without feeling the need to justify her words. This kind of confidence in her communication ensures that she is both heard and understood. She values her time and the time of others, so she doesn't waste it on unnecessary details or over-elaborate her point. She says what needs to be said and leaves it at that, trusting that her message will resonate. High-value women also understand that communication is a two-way street. It's not just about speaking, but also about listening. To communicate clearly, one must also be willing to listen with intention. A high-value woman listens not just to hear, but to understand and empathize. She is patient with others, allowing them the space to express. Through clear communication, a high-value woman establishes herself as someone who is worthy of respect. She knows that her words carry power, and she uses that power wisely. She speaks from a place of truth, guided by her values, and with the intention of fostering understanding and connection. This clarity not only builds stronger relationships, but also sets a standard for how she expects to be treated. She knows that when she communicates with clarity, she opens the door for others to do the same, creating an environment where authenticity, respect, and mutual understanding can flourish. A high-value woman understands the importance of maintaining her independence. Independence is not just about physical autonomy or being able to do things on her own. It is about emotional, mental, and financial freedom that allows her to fully live her life according to her values, desires, and aspirations. This independence is rooted in self-reliance, but it also cultivates a deep sense of self-respect and self-sufficiency. A woman who is independent in this way doesn't need others to define her sense of worth or to validate her choices. Her independence comes from a place of strength, not isolation, and it is this balance that makes her truly powerful. When a woman is truly independent, she does not depend on anyone else to fulfill her emotional needs. She knows that her happiness is her responsibility, and she doesn't rely on others to make her feel whole or valued. This kind of independence does not mean that she avoids relationships or emotional connections. It means that she enters relationships from a place of wholeness rather than from a place of need. She brings her full, authentic self into any relationship, confident that she can stand on her own 2 feet, regardless of the circumstances. She is not dependent on another person's attention, affection, or approval to feel good about herself. This emotional independence allows her to handle situations with grace and maturity. If a relationship or connection doesn't align with her values or isn't fulfilling, she can walk away without feeling like she is losing something of her identity. She doesn't feel the need to chase validation or attention from others. She trusts that what is meant for her will come in its own time, and she doesn't compromise her standards or values for the sake of fitting into someone else's expectations. This independence gives her the power to make decisions based on what truly serves her rather than out of fear, loneliness, or desperation. She knows that she is worthy of respect, love, and success without needing to beg for it or settle for less. Financial independence is another crucial aspect of a high-value woman's life. She doesn't rely on anyone to take care of her financially because she knows the power that financial freedom brings. Her financial independence allows her to make choices freely, whether it's about her career, lifestyle, or future. She understands that money is a tool, not the end goal, but it empowers her to live life on her terms. She makes her own money, manages her own finances, and has the confidence to pursue her goals without fear of financial limitations. This financial independence also gives her the ability to help others when she chooses to, and to create opportunities for herself that don't rely on others' generosity or support. Moreover, a high-value woman is intellectually independent. She doesn't allow others to dictate her thoughts or beliefs. She takes responsibility for her education, her growth, and her development. She actively seeks knowledge and self-improvement, knowing that the more she learns, the more she becomes equipped to navigate life's challenges. Her mind is sharp, her curiosity is limitless, and she is committed to her personal and professional development. This intellectual independence means she does not settle for what others say or what society expects. She thinks critically and forms her own opinions, guided by her values, experiences, and insights. Mental independence is just as important. A high-value woman does not allow others to control her thoughts, emotions, or mental state. She understands that her mental well-being is her responsibility, and she works hard to maintain a balanced and positive mindset. This mental resilience allows her to navigate difficult situations without falling into despair or being influenced by negativity. She has learned how to cultivate inner peace, how to silence the inner critic, and how to focus on her goals and desires. Her mental clarity gives her the strength to stand firm in her decisions and not be swayed by the opinions or criticisms of others. This independence also helps her maintain her boundaries. A woman who is emotionally, financially, and intellectually independent knows that she is worthy of respect and will not tolerate anything less. She understands the importance of setting boundaries that protect her energy and well-being. She doesn't let people walk all over her, and she isn't afraid to say no when something doesn't align with her values or when something threatens her peace of mind. This ability to set boundaries comes from a deep understanding that she is enough on her own and doesn't need to bend herself out of shape to please others. Her independence gives her the freedom to walk away from situations that drain her energy or cause her harm, and she does so without hesitation. While independence is crucial, a high-value woman also understands the importance of interdependence, which is the balance of maintaining independence while also being able to connect and work with others in meaningful ways. She knows that she doesn't have to do everything alone, and that collaboration and mutual respect are key to healthy, balanced relationships. Her independence allows her to give in relationships, but it also gives her the strength to receive when needed. She understands that both independence and interdependence are necessary for building healthy, thriving connections with others. Her independence is also reflected in how she prioritizes her own growth and well-being. She makes time for herself, for her passions, and for her personal goals. She knows that to give her best to others, she must first take care of herself. This may mean making time for self-care, pursuing hobbies that bring her joy, or setting aside moments for reflection and relaxation. A high-value woman knows that her own well-being is paramount to being able to offer her best to the world. She doesn't sacrifice her happiness or health for anyone or anything because she understands that when she is at her best, she can achieve her dreams and help others achieve theirs. At the same time, she recognizes that her independence is a reflection of her strength, and this strength allows her to attract those who appreciate and respect her. Men, particularly, are drawn to this level of independence because it signifies a woman who knows her worth and doesn't need to rely on anyone to define her. Her self-sufficiency and confidence in all areas of her life make her both powerful and attractive. She isn't desperate for attention or approval. She is focused on her own journey, her own purpose, and her own growth, and that is what makes her magnetic. This balance of independence and strength allows her to build relationships that are founded on mutual respect, trust, and admiration, creating a dynamic where both parties are free to grow, thrive, and support each other in their individual pursuits. A high-value woman exudes confidence in everything she does. Confidence is not simply about the way she carries herself physically. It's an inner quality that radiates from within her and influences every aspect of her life. It's about having a deep sense of self-worth, the belief that she is deserving of success, respect, and happiness, and the assurance that she has the ability to navigate through any challenge life throws her way. Confidence is not an illusion or an act. It is grounded in a profound understanding of one's strengths, potential, and personal value. It is this authenticity that makes a high-value woman so magnetic, and it is one of the most attractive qualities she possesses. A woman who is truly confident is comfortable in her own skin. She knows her flaws, her imperfections, and her areas of growth, and yet she still holds herself in high regard. She does not need to seek external validation to feel good about herself. Her confidence comes from within, built upon her self-awareness and self-acceptance. She embraces who she is, knowing that she is worthy of love, respect, and success just as she is. This sense of self-acceptance gives her the strength to take risks, make decisions, and assert herself without fear of rejection or failure. She understands that mistakes and setbacks are part of the journey and do not diminish her worth in any way. Her confidence is a reflection of her resilience and her ability to bounce back from life's challenges stronger than before. Moreover, confidence allows her to trust herself and her decisions. A high-value woman does not second-guess herself or hesitate when it comes to making choices. She is guided by her inner compass, knowing that her instincts and judgment are reliable. This trust in herself also empowers her to act decisively. Whether it's in her personal life, career, or relationships, she does not waste time doubting her abilities or second-guessing her path. She takes responsibility for her actions, knowing that she is capable of handling the consequences, whatever they may be. This decisiveness and trust in herself are what make her a natural leader, not because she forces others to follow her, but because people gravitate toward her because of her self-assurance. Confidence also means that she is not afraid to stand up for herself. She knows her boundaries and is not afraid to assert them. She has learned the importance of protecting her energy and her space, and she does not allow others to take advantage of her or overstep her limits. Whether it's in a professional setting, in relationships, or in social interactions, she communicates her needs, desires, and expectations clearly and without apology. This ability to assert herself and her boundaries is a key aspect of her confidence. It shows that she values herself enough to protect her peace and ensure that she is treated with the respect she deserves. A confident woman also embraces her individuality. She is not swayed by societal expectations or the opinions of others. She knows that her uniqueness is what makes her special and attractive. She doesn't try to conform to what others think she should be or do. Instead, she follows her own path, guided by her passions, interests, and aspirations. Her confidence allows her to stand out and be unapologetically herself, regardless of whether or not it fits into the mainstream. She knows that her worth is not determined by comparison to others, but by her own self-perception and how she lives in alignment with her values. This confidence in her individuality is also reflected in her sense of style, her personality, and her approach to life. She doesn't need to follow trends or seek approval to feel good about how she looks or how she presents herself. Her style is an expression of who she is, and it reflects her authenticity. Whether she dresses casually or formally, whether she follows the latest fashion or creates her own, her confidence is evident in the way she carries herself. She understands that true beauty comes from within, and while she may enjoy expressing her personal style, her confidence transcends physical appearance. Furthermore, a high-value woman's confidence is contagious. People are naturally drawn to those who carry themselves with self-assurance. Her positive energy and belief in herself create an uplifting environment where others feel comfortable and empowered. She inspires those around her to believe in themselves, to strive for their own goals, and to take pride in their own unique qualities. Her confidence encourages others to take risks, face challenges, and push beyond their limits. In relationships, this confidence fosters mutual respect as both partners understand that they are equals with their own strengths and weaknesses and that they both bring value to the relationship. A confident woman also knows how to handle criticism and rejection. Instead of letting negative feedback or setbacks define her, she views them as opportunities for growth. She understands that no one is perfect, and criticism is simply a chance to improve or to gain a different perspective. Rejection does not make her feel unworthy. Instead, it reinforces her belief that not every opportunity or relationship is meant for her, and that there will always be more opportunities that align with her true purpose. Her confidence enables her to accept feedback graciously, learn from it, and continue moving forward without letting it derail her self-worth. Additionally, confidence is reflected in how a high-value woman carries herself in social settings. She is comfortable being the center of attention or blending into the background, depending on the situation. She doesn't need to dominate every conversation or seek attention from others. Instead, she engages with others in a way that is authentic and genuine. She knows that her presence is enough, and she does not feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Whether she's interacting with close friends, acquaintances, or strangers, she radiates a sense of calm and assurance that makes others feel comfortable and respected in her presence. Confidence also empowers a woman to be a source of strength and support for others. She does not feel threatened by the success or achievements of others. Instead, she celebrates and encourages the success of those around her, knowing that there is enough success, love, and opportunity to go around. Her confidence is not rooted in competition or comparison, but in collaboration and mutual growth. She understands that lifting others up does not diminish her own value. In fact, it enhances it. Ultimately, the confidence of a high-value woman comes from a deep understanding of her worth, her abilities, and her place in the world. It is a quiet yet powerful assurance that she is enough just as she is and that she is worthy of all the good things life has to offer. Her confidence attracts respect, admiration, and love, and it empowers her to live a life that is aligned with her values, her dreams, and her deepest desires. A high-value woman knows the power of her presence and how to use it to create a positive, impactful influence on the world around her. She understands that her presence is more than just her physical appearance. It's the energy she brings into any room, the way she makes people feel, and the impression she leaves on others long after she's gone. This powerful presence is not about being loud or demanding attention. It is the quiet strength and confidence that emanates from her inner being. When she enters a space, whether it's a social gathering, a professional meeting, or a personal relationship, people take notice, not because she seeks attention, but because she exudes an undeniable aura of self-assurance and purpose. One of the key aspects of a high-value woman's presence is her ability to be fully present in the moment. She is not distracted by her phone, her thoughts, or external distractions when she engages with others. She is completely attentive, listening deeply and responding thoughtfully. Her presence is felt because she gives others the gift of her undivided attention. People are drawn to her because they feel seen, heard, and valued in her company. Whether she's conversing with a close friend or engaging with a stranger, she treats everyone with the same level of respect and attention, making them feel like they matter. This quality makes her magnetic and creates an immediate connection with others as people gravitate toward those who make them feel important and understood. Her ability to be present also extends to her emotional intelligence. A high-value woman is highly attuned to the emotions of those around her. She can sense when someone is upset, anxious, or happy, and she responds accordingly. Her empathy allows her to connect with others on a deeper level, providing support and comfort when needed or offering a laugh and a moment of joy when the situation calls for it. This emotional presence makes her not only a great friend, partner, or colleague, but also a source of strength and stability in the lives of those she interacts with. She understands that her emotional energy can influence the environment, so she consciously cultivates a positive, uplifting presence that others find reassuring and calming. Along with her emotional intelligence, her communication skills further enhance her presence. A high-value woman is skilled at expressing herself clearly and effectively, whether through words, gestures, or body language. She knows the power of her voice and how to use it to convey her thoughts, feelings, and desires with clarity and conviction. She speaks with confidence and intention, and her words carry weight because they are always authentic and meaningful. She also knows the importance of listening, recognizing that sometimes the most powerful thing she can do is simply listen and allow others to express themselves. This balance of speaking and listening makes her a powerful communicator, someone who can engage in meaningful conversations and connect with people on a deeper level. Her presence is also deeply rooted in self-awareness. She understands who she is, what she stands for, and what she wants from life. This self-awareness gives her a sense of purpose and direction that others can sense when they interact with her. She does not waver in her beliefs or compromise her values to please others. Instead, she is firm in her sense of self, and this unwavering confidence in her identity makes her both admirable and approachable. People respect her because she is unapologetically herself, and this authenticity is something that draws others in. They feel comfortable around her because she is not trying to be someone she is not. Her authenticity allows her to create genuine connections with others, built on trust and mutual respect. Her physical presence also plays a role in her overall energy. A high-value woman knows the importance of taking care of her body, not for the sake of appearance, but for her own well-being and health. She values her health and invests time in maintaining a body that is strong, vibrant, and energized. She understands that physical wellness contributes to her mental and emotional well-being, and this holistic approach to self-care enhances her presence. When she walks into a room, she does so with grace, poise, and confidence, her posture reflecting the inner strength she carries. People can sense her vitality and the energy she exudes, and they are drawn to it, attracted to the power and positivity she radiates. In addition to her personal qualities, a high-value woman's presence is also enhanced by her ability to navigate social dynamics with ease. She is comfortable in a wide range of environments, from casual gatherings to formal events, and she knows how to interact with different types of people with grace and confidence. Whether she is in a group or one-on-one conversation, she has a unique ability to make others feel comfortable and at ease. She doesn't try to dominate conversations or demand attention, but her mere presence creates an atmosphere of calm and respect. People are naturally inclined to listen when she speaks, not because she is forceful, but because she has an aura of authority and wisdom that commands attention without saying a word. Her presence is also marked by her ability to remain calm and composed, even in stressful or challenging situations. A high-value woman does not let external circumstances dictate her emotional state. She remains grounded, centered, and focused regardless of what is happening around her. This emotional stability is incredibly powerful, as it gives others a sense of reassurance and comfort. When others are stressed, anxious, or uncertain, her calm presence serves as a grounding force, allowing them to regain their own composure. People gravitate toward her not because she seeks to control situations, but because her steady energy provides a sense of security and peace in a world that can often feel chaotic. Furthermore, her presence is not confined to physical spaces, but extends to her digital presence as well. In today's world, a high-value woman understands the importance of cultivating a positive online presence that reflects her true self. She carefully curates her online image, choosing to share content that is aligned with her values, interests, and aspirations. She does not seek validation through likes or comments, but instead uses her platform to inspire, educate, and connect with others. Her online presence is an extension of her authentic self, and it further reinforces her ability to influence and impact others in a positive way. People are drawn to her not just because of who she is in person, but also because of the energy and wisdom she shares online. Ultimately, a high-value woman's presence is the culmination of her inner strength, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and authenticity. It is not something that can be faked or forced, but rather something that is cultivated through years of personal growth, self-care, and a commitment to living authentically. Her presence commands respect, admiration, and attraction because it is genuine and rooted in a deep understanding of her own worth and the value she brings to the world. Setting boundaries also means understanding that not every relationship is worth pursuing, and not every person deserves access to her time and energy. A high-value woman is selective about who she allows into her life because she knows that her energy is precious. She does not waste time with people who do not align with her values or who do not contribute positively to her life. She has learned to recognize the signs of toxic or unproductive relationships and will not hesitate to walk away from them, even if it means being alone for a while. Men particularly are drawn to a woman who knows her worth and is not afraid to walk away from situations that do not serve her. A woman who constantly compromises her boundaries to please others is seen as someone who lacks self-respect and self-confidence. A high-value woman, on the other hand, is never afraid to put herself first and prioritize her own needs. This is what makes her so compelling. She doesn't need anyone to validate her. She is already whole and complete on her own. When it comes to romantic relationships, a high-value woman expects respect, honesty, and reciprocity. She does not settle for less than she deserves. She understands that love and affection should not come at the cost of her happiness, her peace, or her sense of self. She values herself too much to allow anyone to treat her poorly, and she expects the same level of respect from her partner that she gives to herself. This is why a high-value woman will not tolerate disrespectful behavior, manipulation, or dishonesty in a relationship. She sets clear boundaries around how she expects to be treated and will walk away from any relationship that crosses those boundaries. This doesn't mean she is closed off or unwilling to compromise. A high-value woman is capable of love, intimacy, and deep connection. She is not afraid to give of herself in a relationship, but she knows that these gifts must be given in a space of mutual respect and understanding. She does not expect perfection from others, but she does expect integrity and authenticity. If a man fails to meet her standards or violates her boundaries, she will not hesitate to end the relationship, no matter how difficult it may be. This is because she values herself too much to settle for anything less than what she deserves. Another key aspect of a high-value woman's boundaries is her ability to maintain her independence and sense of self. She does not lose herself in a relationship. She has her own interests, passions, and goals that are separate from her partner. She understands that a healthy relationship is one in which both partners are able to grow and evolve as individuals, and she does not expect her partner to fulfill all of her needs or define her identity. She is complete on her own and will never lose sight of her own desires and aspirations, even in the context of a romantic relationship. A high-value woman knows that her happiness and fulfillment are not dependent on anyone else. She does not rely on external validation or approval to feel good about herself. Instead, she builds her self-worth from within. This inner strength allows her to navigate the challenges of life and relationships with grace and confidence. Men are often drawn to this inner strength because it is rare and captivating. A woman who is secure in herself and who does not seek validation from others is an incredibly attractive partner. Men find her magnetic because they know that she is not needy or desperate for their attention or affection. Her boundaries also extend to her emotional energy. A high-value woman is careful about where and with whom she invests her emotional energy. She does not give her time or energy to people who drain her or take advantage of her kindness. She recognizes that her emotional well-being is just as important as her physical well-being, and she takes steps to protect it. She knows when to say no and when to walk away from relationships or situations that cause her emotional harm. This level of emotional intelligence and self-awareness makes her a highly attractive and valuable partner. In the context of her relationship with men, a high-value woman knows how to balance her independence with her desire for companionship. She is not afraid of being alone, and she does not need a man to complete her. Instead, she seeks a partner who complements her life and supports her growth. She understands that a healthy, fulfilling relationship is one in which both partners are able to thrive individually while also supporting each other's growth and success. This balance of independence and interdependence is what makes a high-value woman so magnetic to men. Men are often drawn to women who are self-sufficient, confident, and clear about their boundaries. They respect women who value themselves and who are not afraid to walk away from situations that do not serve them. These women are seen as strong, wise, and capable, and men are often more than willing to invest in a relationship with someone who knows her worth and is clear about what she wants and needs. Ultimately, a high-value woman's boundaries are a reflection of her self-respect and understanding of her worth. She knows that by setting clear, healthy boundaries, she is protecting her peace, her happiness, and her emotional well-being. These boundaries allow her to create relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and authenticity. She does not compromise her standards, and she never settles for less than she deserves. This is why men are attracted to high-value women, because they embody strength, independence, and self-respect, and these qualities are undeniably magnetic. A high-value woman knows the significance of communication in building a lasting and meaningful relationship. She recognizes that words have power, and how she communicates with others, particularly with men, can shape the direction of any relationship. Communication for her is not simply about expressing thoughts or exchanging information. It's about creating a connection, establishing trust, and making sure that both parties feel seen, heard, and respected. The high-value woman understands that the way she speaks, the tone she uses, and the words she chooses can convey a wealth of emotions, values, and intentions. One of the key attributes of a high-value woman is her ability to communicate openly and honestly. She is not afraid to express her feelings, needs, and desires. She does not play games or rely on manipulation to get her point across. Rather, she communicates with clarity, integrity, and respect, knowing that healthy relationships are built on transparency and mutual understanding. Whether she's sharing her dreams and ambitions or discussing her boundaries,